So the Eagles had their final open practice before the Ravens game on Saturday night. And one thing has become apparent. Besides Nakobe Dean being back at practice, we got to watch for Joseph Ngata rising up the depth charts. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. 2 days away. 2 days away from Eagles-Ravens. I cannot wait. I am so excited. And the Eagles, they were back at practice. This was their final open practice before the Ravens game. They've got a closed practice tomorrow. They were out there for only about 55 minutes today and without pads, but they were out there practicing nonetheless, and we got a lot to talk about. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, thank you so much for the support you give to me. Like I said, this was a really, really short practice. Probably the shortest practice that they've had so far without pads. So they probably have a walkthrough tomorrow, I'm guessing, in the closed practice before the Ravens game. But, man, I am so excited. And one of the things I was excited about today was this injury report, because this injury report is looking really good at the right time. So here was the Eagles injury report today. Pound Eagles practice report. Will not practice. Deon Cain, ankle. Patrick Johnson, ankle. That's it. That is it. Nakobe Dean, ankle. Devin Allen, calf. James Bradbury, they've all been clear and full participants in practice. This is a great sign. And it didn't take Nakobe Dean, let me say this, didn't take him long to be right back on the first team, getting reps. And that's exactly what we want. I think Nakobe Dean is going to shut a lot of people up this year. I really do. I believe he's going to absolutely do that. When we get to the preseason game, and I'll be putting out a video tomorrow talking about like all the things that I'll be watching. But I got to tell you, the linebacking battle interests me, because I don't know, besides Nakobe Dean, I think it's wide open. Same really with the safety position. So we're going to have a lot of interesting, really interesting battles, no doubt about it. To start this practice off, Hurts came out and he was slaying it. Hurts was everywhere. He comes out, beautiful back shoulder pass to A.J. Brown. The people are saying, you can't stop that. If the pass is thrown right to A.J. Brown, nobody can stop it. He's just too big. Comes right back down, fires a nice ball at the sideline. Oz makes a great catch. And Jalen Hurts, was red hot. Couple touchdown passes to the tight ends down at the end zone. But really, like I said, keep this in perspective. No pads on today. 55 minutes. They weren't doing a whole lot. One thing, though, that I do want to talk about with this offense is the fact that we've got to keep an eye on Joseph Ngata. Joseph Ngata, the Eagles brought him in, undrafted rookie free agent, and this kid is rising up the depth charts. We have heard practices before. He's making catches, nice plays. He's doing this, he's doing that. We've heard it all along. Well, today he was actually, especially on 7-on-7s, he was getting first-team reps. So Joseph Ngata is rising up the depth charts, and quick. Could this be a situation where we're all focused on Oz, and we're all focused on Quez Watkins, and we're focused on these guys, and then out comes Joseph Ngata out of nowhere and winds up winning that slot receiver job, that third job? That would be absolutely crazy. I'm really excited to see this kid. I'd be honest with you, going into training camp, he was just another body. Hopefully he could do something. As training camp has gone on, and the more we've heard about him, the more excited. Pause. We got to pause on that because it's a pause. But I'm excited to see this kid play and what he could do, because I don't think this kid is just getting reps and is just there. I think this kid is winning the coaches over. I think he's rising up the depth charts, and I think the Eagles like him a lot. If they're giving him first-team reps, it's something we have to watch very closely. Now, obviously, you got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Those are your two guys. That's just the way it is. However, that third wide receiver spot is wide open. I don't think anybody can say otherwise. So we've got to keep an eye on Joseph Ngata and what he does and how they use him in preseason, because he's clearly ahead of all the other rookies, and I think he's rising up this depth chart really quick. That's a good sign. It's exactly what we need. We need somebody on this roster to emerge as that number 3 wide receiver. Now, I still think most likely it's going to be Quez Watkins. I think Oz is making a good run at it. He's been looking pretty good. Listen, Quez has looked pretty good so far from what we've heard. Oz has looked pretty good so far from what we've heard. Now Ngata is coming out of nowhere, and he's looking pretty good so far. So that's good. Competition. Iron sharpens iron. That's what they always say. That's what we're talking about. So keep an eye on Joseph Ngata. Now, also, Johnny King, the newest wide receiver, he was out at practice. They said he made some nice catches. We got to kind of give him a chance to adapt and see what he can do. As far as the defense goes, Nakobe Dean, as I was saying, was on getting first-team reps at linebacker. Jalen Carter continues, and I mean continues, to be a beast. The guy is a beast. What can you do? First team goes out, deflects a ball Jalen Hurts throws. Could have had a sack. Then he had him on the third-team rotation at one point. Almost picks up the offensive lineman, drives him back into the quarterback. Should have had a sack. Almost had a pass deflection there. Jalen Carter, we said this yesterday. I'm going to continue to say this. He's a force to be reckoned with. If everything, and people forget this about Jalen Carter. It's funny to me how quickly everybody, especially within our division, has forgotten how good Jalen Carter was coming out of college. If all that stuff off the field didn't happen, he probably goes 1 to Chicago. Chicago probably stays at 1, drafts Jalen Carter, and that's it. They only made the trade out of that number 1 spot when they decided, Jalen Carter, we can't take him at 1, we can't risk it. That was the only time the Bears decided to move. Otherwise, Jalen Carter's probably going number 1 overall. So the Eagles really have the number one draft pick, in my opinion. They've got the most talented player out of the draft on their team, and it's showing up. He's showing it every day. So he continues to be looking really, really good. Another guy I want to talk about is Josh JOBE, because Josh JOBE had 3 pass breakups today. Every day and every practice, here's another guy that goes out and breaks up and makes plays. When Bradbury was out and he wasn't in, Josh JOBE was getting first-team reps, and he was going out there and he was making plays. They even asked, I just watched James Bradbury's press conference, and they were asking him about Josh JOBE. But he said the game really, you could tell the game is starting to slow down for Josh JOBE. He's very athletic, he said, the kid gets it. The kid's going to be a player. So Josh JOBE is another guy that we really need. If we could get somebody behind one of those starting corners to emerge, to be there in case something happens to one of those guys, boom, you have Josh JOBE. Man, we got some talent on this team. I know you don't want to buy into the hype all the time, but man, if you look at this roster, it's stacked. It's stacked, and now you got these young guys starting to play, starting to emerge. I cannot wait to see how these guys look in the preseason game. I wonder how much they're going to play too. Here's what I expect, and we'll probably know more tomorrow, but here's what I expect to see from our starters. I expect it's going to be your starters are going to go out, first team goes out 1 series, done. First defense, 1 series, done. Then you're going to get your backups in. Your second team will play maybe the rest of the first quarter, and then they'll be out on offense and defense. And then I think it's going to be third and fourth stringers the rest of the game. Then the final 3 games in preseason, or final 2 games in preseason, because it's only 3, I don't expect to see the starters at all. I think you'll see some Mariota, not a lot, and you're going to see the other guys go. I expect when this training camp and preseason's all over, I expect guys like Trey Sermon to have led in carries. Joseph Ngata might be the guy leading in receptions. The Eagles aren't going to play a lot of their guys. They haven't done it the last few years. And I got to tell you, I used to be really against this. Like, Why aren't you having 2-a-days? Why aren't you hitting? Why are we not hitting? Why are we not playing guys in preseason? We're going to come out. We're going to be sloppy. We're going to be slow. And that hasn't been the case. The Eagles have gone out, and they've come out fine. The first year under Sirianni, we come out in Atlanta. We had no problem moving the ball. Last year, we go out and we score, 40 points or something against Detroit. I forget what the final score was, but we scored a lot of points. So I think the Eagles will be fine. But we got a closed practice tomorrow, and then we got the game on Saturday. I will be streaming the game on Saturday. So let me know, or don't let me know. Just come on by. We'll be there. Let me know you're there, and it should be a lot of fun. I do all the Eagles preseason games. And then in the regular season, we do, of course, all the Eagles games and many more games, many of the primetime games. So we're going to be streaming a lot this year, a lot. So look for that. With that said, you might see me later, you might not. Take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. All right, so I need a favor from you guys who watch this end part. And thank you if you actually watch these post-credit scenes, because I never know how many people do. But I'm testing out a new mic today. We're testing a new mic. This is the 4th mic in the last week I've tested. I haven't liked any of the ones I've tested so far. This one, I'm kind of liking a little bit. So this is what I'm testing today to show you guys. Just to show you, this is it. And this is a mic. And then I have it connects, I have a base that connects here, and what's it called? So I have it attached right there. Hey, yo, how you doing? Let's see how it sounds. So tell me if this mic seems to be working, because what I like about this mic is I could use it on everything I do, not just on recording videos. But with that said, Denzel Washington out.